Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show where, after the collision, we sift through
Wreckage. There, hey, there, Jimmy, there.
How are you, man? What's cracking, man?
Oh, I'm lovely, Jimmy.
Well, I was going to say, I am your host, Jimmy T. That is my co-host, the vet, Jamie Williams. And we are here on the Wreckage, live via Hamid Media Group, on the YouTubes, and also at channelattitude.com after the fact. Vet, what a weird week it's been in pro wrestling, dude. There's a few things actually I want to ask you because we've spoken about this before, but again, this doesn't tend to disappear, man. And I guess you can't really add to it even more, but our very own boss, big boss, man, here at Channel Attitude, as in Vince Russo, he's talking that Triple H is going to be see you later once again, excuse me, by 2025. And we obviously know also that Bruce Pritchard and one other guy who was, Michael Hayes, have taken indefinite leave. Is there something to this with all the conspiracy theories and rumors swirling around in the dirty sheets, shall I say? Or is there something to this? Is something going on? What's going on here, man? Because I'm confused.
Well, generally in times like this, I say ask a mark. And whatever the mark answers, go with the opposite.
I was going to say something silly, and I better not. But I just find it ridiculous, dude, when it comes to all that, man. But I still think he will not go anywhere. I just don't see why he would. Even Ari Emanuel, as a matter of fact, did mention that he went for lunch with VKM, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, a few weeks ago. And he basically said that he's not working with us still. I just went to see how he's doing, basically see if he's okay and whatnot. And he's got nothing to do with the company. And I do believe he's got nothing to do with the company. But all these Triple H talk is getting me a bit, I don't know, dude. But as far as Bruce Pritchard goes and Michael Hayes, at the end of the day, how old are these two guys at this point? They'd be pushing 70, right? Hayes should be 70 by this point.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I don't know how much, I don't know what their day-to-day, what I say, I don't know what their day-to-day, duties are. I just mean like, on top of what we already know. Like, I don't know what else they're asked to do, but I just think it is honestly a coincidence. I'm sure they'll probably be back. Because why do you need to go on indefinite leave? Well, if they're gone, why aren't they just gone?
Yeah, exactly. Well, apparently, as far as Pritchard goes, his wife apparently has got cancer again. She's had cancer multiple times in the past. It's pretty well known. And she's gotten over him every time, man. I mean, she's strong, put it that way. But apparently, now I don't know this for fact. This is what Jeff was saying. So apparently that's the reason why he's taking leave. As far as Michael Hayes goes, I have no idea. But I wanted to ask you another question, though, Vet, because I was having an interesting conversation yesterday with, if you remember, former WWE referee Jimmy Calderas.
Oh, yes.
I was talking to him actually on Twitter, and it basically started about what fucked up pro wrestling. And when I say that, I'm talking about where everybody knew 100% it was work. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Back in the day, I'm talking about in the 90s and 80s, there was always rumblings. Everyone would say it's fake, blah, blah, blah. But no one knew 100% certain. Because it's not like the business opened that fourth wall and told you that it was a work. You know what I mean? They hadn't done that yet. And Bobby the Brain Heenan basically said, and this is how it started, he was a little shoot, and he's saying that it's the business fault for opening the doors. And basically, this just before he actually got cancer, or he did have cancer at the time, but it wasn't bad. It was in 2002. And he thinks that the wrestling business opened its doors and they've screwed up the whole thing. Like, basically, he was saying in the future, they weren't going to make any more money. In a way, he's pretty wrong because they're making more money than ever. But in my opinion, I felt like, and he agreed with me, by the way, that remember Beyond the Mat, for example, when that came out, and before that, Wrestling with Shadows, the Bret Hart documentary, I felt those two were the things that really opened the doors and screwed up the business, to, in a sense, by opening that fourth wall. Because those two DVDs in particular, when they came out, or not just DVDs, but the documentaries, they were pretty eye-opening if you didn't know anything that goes on in the back. And he agreed with me on that. So, and a few people did, but do you think there's something to that?
I think that those things definitely did not help. I think there were many things that did it, like, Tough Enough's another thing. Now you got a TV show about it.
Oh, definitely.
And at various points in time, there were various degrees of business being exposed. Obviously, it's always been in contention, because even back, if you look at like the old, I say you look at like anybody's just going to do it, but take my word for it. Old newspaper articles and stuff that people would write trying to expose wrestling as a fraud, like and all these things, even back with the Luthezes and the Frank Gotches and those, like they're people like, oh yeah, this is, this not on the up and up. Like, people have always said it, and the people that believe, the people that don't. And a lot of people quietly believed and just pretended, because they understood that it's the same as a show. You go to the show, you just take it at face value, and you have fun with it. And you don't need to debate what's real, because you have people that you like, as whether you think they're athletes or 100% athletes or 100% performers, you still like those people. You enjoy watching those people. And we have that today with athletes. Whether you believe that NFL football is on the up and up, or whether you believe that NBA basketball is on the up and up, even though people have written books about how it's not, whatever you want to believe. Watch the movie Blue Chips. There's so many. Look at the Chicago Black Sox. There's always people that are just in denial about what they want to deny, and they believe what they want to believe, and that's the way it's always going to be. The reason that wrestling is popular now is just it's popular because they're giving people something to do, and they adjust with how the people adjust. If the people are out here chanting for furniture and singing songs, then we're going to give them tables and songs. If the people change their mind and go in a different direction, they'll go in that direction too. It's whatever keeps the people coming to the buildings, right? And
for sure.
I think because Vince McMahon was in charge of basically the entire wrestling business for so long, because even the other promotions, they would just do what was successful in WWF, or they would try to. Because he was in charge, basically all of his ideas were pushing the industry forward, and everybody else was playing catch up or copycat. For better or worse, he would, like when it was convenient for him, he would give people what they want, and then other times he would say, "Fuck them," like he just would do what he wanted to do. Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt, man.
So 100%. now we're seeing that. I think what we're seeing here is, and this ties back into the first thing actually that you asked about, talking about Triple H, and is Triple H going anywhere? If Triple H is going anywhere, it's kind of a foolish move, because for the first time, you have somebody in a position of authority and advisory that is a wrestling fan like all of us. He's such a wrestling fan that he achieved the highest level that anybody can achieve in the wrestling business, which is, I'm the new Vince McMahon, damn it.
Right. Yeah.
Like he
Absolutely.
did that. He did that. He did whatever it took. He protected himself politically in the locker room. He aligned himself with people that would help him to do that. He stayed scandal free his entire career, even though he was with the Clique. How does Triple H stay drug, alcohol, and scandal free when his best friends are the people that everybody look at as like the worst of the worst as far as behavior and just being general fuck ups, you know, and they just so happen to draw a lot of money. How could somebody be like that? Triple H planned this all along. I don't know when he decided he was going to actually be able to do it, but I think he had the dream of like, I'm going to be Vince McMahon one day. And I think he thought it was going to be left to him. And that's why he wanted to marry Stephanie. Sure, maybe he fall in love with her too. That's a bonus for her. But I'm sure that he was going to marry her whether he loved her or not. And right. I think that now he's got everything that he wanted. And that's a good thing for us because now he can take his own ego out of it. Like, because he doesn't have to keep himself over anymore. Exactly. Like, okay, goal achieved. Okay, now I can look at it from a wrestling fan point of view, and I can try to develop talent to do the things that I would like to see as a fan. Because Triple H gets to be a fan again, but he also gets to control the business. He gets to be in a collaborative position. You know,
100.
He took the long route to do what he did, and that's why I think that you know, because he kind of gets what fans want to see, that the business is succeeding a little bit more now. And I think that's why, and I think that's why people don't care that wrestling's a work, because it's like, well, I don't care what it is. If I get what I want, then I'm going to support it with my money. If I like these people, if I like the Cody Rhodeses of the world, or the Roman Reigneses of the world, or the, you know, whoever it is, I'll support them with my wallet. I'll buy the merch. I'll buy the ticket. You know, those kind of things. I'll buy the video game so I can play as them. I'll buy the toys, you know, like whatever it is. That's what we're seeing. And I think that's kind of why it remains popular. And I think that also is why Triple H ain't going anywhere. So that answers both your questions right off the top. But I do think that I could be wrong in the future, and we'll see about that. But that's just my take on it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I think he's going nowhere. There's no signs. I don't know why this keeps coming up over and over and over and over and over, especially around our circles, which is bizarre to me. You know what I mean?
Because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. Okay, and I love everybody, so it's not a personal. It's not a personal thing. I'm just telling you, I don't agree. I don't agree with them, and the reason, here's what I honestly think, and I hope it doesn't hurt anybody's feelings. But you've been pushing a narrative for how many years? And if the narrative isn't true, then that means you were wrong all these years. So of course you got to keep pushing it. You're gonna keep pushing it until you're right. And you know, that's just what it is. So if that's what people believe, if they believe that, you know, the whole old regime is going to get rinsed, then okay, you believe that. Don't take into account the fact that part of the reason there's a new regime is because of some of the people that are here and wanted to they were in the old regime and wanted the old regime out, and maybe helped make it happen. So,
and we've already spoken about that, and we both agreed that, you know, Triple H was one of the, you know, cogs that wanted McMahon out, including his daughter. I'm talking about Vince's daughter and Stephanie McMahon. There's no ifs or buts about it. The timeline's all matched too. But anyway, I agree with you 100%. I don't buy it one bit, and hopefully it doesn't hurt anyone's feelings. But here at Channel Attitude, we've got free reins to talk how we feel. You know what I mean?
Real talk.
The real talk, right? We don't have to agree with, you know, everybody that works here. That's just our opinions. I just find it bizarre that it keeps getting brought up over and over again. But hey, that's their opinion.
Yeah, and well, here's the other thing too. Like, even if we're talking about, okay, maybe there's not, it's not so conspiratorial that Hayes and Pritchard are on a leave. Maybe they are on the chopping block. Maybe they are getting pushed out. Maybe they are being rinsed. And you don't think that Triple H is like, well, sorry, fellas.
Well,
Like,
funny.
does it all have to be a package deal? No.
Well, yeah,
it doesn't.
I've heard Triple H himself say that guys like Bruce Pritchard and Kevin Dunn at the time, now we know he's gone, are not going to be here forever. He wanted to change. And he was saying this years ago while he was doing his NXT thing. I can't remember. I saw it on television. I saw an interview where he brought it up, you know what I mean? But it always stood out. And then I was surprised that Pritchard still stuck around after Vince was gone. But, yeah, look, man, it's the old guard in terms, they're up there with age. Really, for me, Triple H is the next generation of the new guard. Like, you know what I mean? Even though Triple H is the old guard, but he's still very much a new sort of spot in that sort of high up in management. Because the rumor is, and this is what I forgot to mention, that reminded me, the reason why they think that is because they think The Rock is going to be the one to take over that position, but not him himself, per se. He's going to put Brian Gerwitz in that Triple H spot. That's what Vince Russo thinks. And I'm like, oh, come on. Brian Gerwitz? Like, really? The Rock only wants him for himself, and that's it, man. He doesn't want him to do... He probably doesn't even want to book a whole show, if or two, for that matter. But that's the theory going into it. But as before we move on, I just want to thank everybody for joining us and do a few announcements on who's here joining us. We got Cold Blooded in the house. What's going on, my friend? We got Lab Rat also. What are they testing on you tonight? Actually, Lab Rat, well, actually today. Gam Wolfers is in the house.
Wait. I'll tell you what they're testing on Lab Rat. Because Lab Rat told you what they're testing on him because it's a special day. Today he's testing out a new age birthday cake and a Wagyu steak later because it's his birthday. So happy birthday to Lab Rat.
Funny you say that. I was just going to mention birthdays. I didn't know it was Lab Rat's birthday, but happy birthday, Lab Rat. What's going on, man? How old are you turning? You won't tell us, but I bet. But also, it was Charles the Hammer Alfred's birthday also a few days ago. I don't know what's wrong with my voice.
The great
happy
Charles
birthday
the
to
Hammer.
you also. Sorry, Vic?
I said the great Charles the Hammer.
The great Charles the Hammer, exactly. Church and wrestling for him, it seems, today. I mean, you can't go wrong with church and wrestling. Absolutely. Also, we got the biggest ass on this whole planet in Frank's Pickle Barrel's ass. Hello, my friend. What's going on? We've also got... Who else but Zane Vicious? Zany, we call him these days. It's Zany Zane. That's what Jeff likes to say. And that's... we also got Sonic the Hedrat joining us. What's cracking, bro?
Another
Good
legend.
to see you here. Another legend indeed. And, of course, Mike Martin is also in the house. Your best friend, actually, Vet.
My friend.
Your friend. And, of course, last but not least, it's the Gruss. Or is it the Gruss? Or is it G. Roos? I have no idea. But I'll stick with Gruss.
There's no way to know. Unfortunately, there's no way we could ever find out.
No, we'll never find out. But he sucks, though, because he hates Greek food. How can you hate Greek food, Gruss? I can't get over that, man. But thank you for joining us, bro. Anyway, let's get back into some news. Vet, this is going to be good for you. Allegedly, now, this is not confirmed or anything like that, but it's allegedly, Lance Anoa'i has signed with WWE.
Oh.
I personally think he sucks, always has sucked, and has so for years. No offense to him.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be like, oh, yeah, no, that's fine.
But I'm just saying, no, really, Lance Anoa'i is going to be the most boring Anoa'i in all of the Anoa'is. Let's be honest, dude. I mean, from what I've seen, he just bores me to death, dude.
Well, I never watched him once, so I don't have an opinion.
Really? Oh, interesting. Yeah, he's pretty plain, dude. So maybe they see something that I don't personally. I know I'm not the only one that thinks that. There was a few that actually said it in the chat yesterday in the Smack Attack.
Maybe it's a little bit of that nepotive, if you will.
Clearly it's that nepotive.
But that's fine. Let's if he sucks now, if he's bland, then let's see if they can season him up a bit.
Gam Wolfers wants to know, where's Waldo Anoa'i? You're a character, Gam. Seriously, it's too early for this shit, man. God damn it. But that's funny though. Still, look, cool. Do we need? I mean, is it going to become an absolute? Could we possibly get a Royal Rumble of just the Islanders, bro? Imagine that.
No, he could, but it's not going to
That'd be
happen.
bizarre. Like Mike Minor says, the NWO bloodline. It's getting to that point. I mean,
That's
seriously,
right.
it's getting ridiculous.
Wolfpack
In
coming
other
with
news,
the mass destruction.
yeah, exactly, the Wolfpack. Did you hear about all these reports about Malachi Black and being his last day on Dynamite? Which I must say, it looked like see you later type of deal, but then we see him on Collision anyway, and he's come out and said, I'm not going anywhere. What was up with that? Why did he act like he was done pretty much?
I don't know what he acted like. This is the same thing that Buddy did at the end of the match when Adam Cole beat him.
True. I guess, yeah, but I don't know. He was waving to the crowd, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just seemed a little more. Like, why do they? Okay, say it was all for storyline purposes. What are they trying to get friggin' Cole so over that they bow down to him? I mean, what is this shit, dude? Like,
they're trying.
Shit, it's not gonna work, man. It's just not gonna. It's not gonna work. Frank wants to know, when does Jason Momoa show up? Oh God, please. Hopefully never. But then again, you never know. Seriously. But anyway, is there any other news? You know, the week has been kind of slow, dude. That's why I started off with what I said, because other than all this shit, I mean, I'm trying to see if there's anything worthwhile, really. There's a lot of Japanese news, but I don't know.
Well, let's not get Mike Martin to leave the chat. Let's just skip the Japanese news.
I was just gonna say our listeners don't seem to be really that into it per se, but you guys suck for not being into it. But to
Man,
be fair,
Jimmy, you ain't watched New Japan in months either. Shut up.
I know.
New Japan sucks now. Okay, I said it. Look, when I was talking about it, it was the hottest promotion. It ain't the hottest promotion no more. So it's not hot. I talk about everybody was hot. Hey, there was a point when MLW had the hottest TV show. Nobody was watching it then. I was like, hey, who's this Maxwell Jacob Friedman kid? He looks like he's gonna be something. And it wasn't nobody else saying that. That was me.
I knew MJF. I knew him in MLW 100%. That's when I first saw him.
No, you didn't, Jimmy. You
yes,
liar.
I did.
Nobody knew him. Nobody.
Come on.
Me.
I remember him very well in MLW, man. That's when I first said. It was also Greek God Papadon that first led me to MJF, because he had a match when MJF was young, dude. Shout out to GGP, by the way. Yeah. Oh, you guys all suck, seriously. You and Frank.
I'd still rather, I'd rather eat Greek food than watch a New Japan show right now.
Isn't that bad? Is it that bad? Actually, you know what? I've been intrigued about New Japan, Vet. I was actually going to ask you off the air, but I still need to get to that.
Well, let's just do it now. We got everybody hot.
I was going to say, if I had watched, because I'm intrigued with the last event that was on and the upcoming events, I might actually start watching it just to see if I get back into it again. Because there's a few things happening. Like Kenny Omega came back in New Japan. He wants to have a match in January. They did the Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes bullshit. People thought that was actually a shoot. Come on. It wasn't a shoot. I do think Kenny, though, is very close to returning to AEW. I feel by the the new year, he'll definitely be back. But if I watch New Japan and you have too, we got to cover a show or two, man. I mean, come on. Get Jago into it too.
Hell no. There's too many white dudes in New Japan now. I'm done.
Really? Wow. I can't believe I'm hearing it from him, dude. It was so opposite like a few years ago. Not even.
100%. It's all about the talent.
True.
Right? Back in 17, 18, they were cooking. They had a great roster and everything was good. But they basically, they basically have the same top to bottom. They have a card of matches, and the matches are kind of all the same. But because you like the people, you'll just sit there and watch the same match 10 times a night. Okay.
Right.
Now, if you replace this with guys like fucking Gabe Kidd and, like these other dudes, nah, man, I'm not interested. And the new guys that they brought up, like have largely been failures. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it's true.
Shota Umino ain't getting it done.
Can't
Yuya
believe it,
Uemura
dude.
ain't getting it done. Like, these guys are like just whack imitations of guys that were over. And it's just, I don't, the future does not look bright right now with the talent they're bringing up. They're bringing in a lot of outside people and they're kind of boring. So it's a bland roster from top to bottom right now. I mean, the matches and the shows are just as good production as they ever were, but the people are boring. So I don't want to watch. And that's it. It doesn't matter. Like,
Plus the ones that
they've
we
always
did
had
really
good,
like.
they've always had good booking and production. So that's
No,
not going to
definitely.
change. But I don't care if you're not booking and producing good talent. I don't want to watch. So
Yeah, no, I agree 100%, man. I agree 100%. But I am intrigued. Like I said, I've been sort of itching to watch some New Japan. I do miss it. But you're right. I mean, it sucks right now. But you know what, Vet, man? I think that's about it as far as, real serious news goes. Unless there's other things that you know of that I don't, that you wanted to talk about, please do.
I do. So
Oh.
speaking of Talent Scout Jones, all right.
Right. The best in the world right here.
Yeah. So, they've been releasing some of the people's names that have been selected under the WWE ID program.
Oh, yes. Good segue. Because, yeah, continue.
So anyway, like, I see some of these names and I see like somebody like Jack Hartwheel. I'm like, oh, really? Jack Hartwheel? All right, sure.
He's been
Fine,
identified
whatever.
like under WWE ID.
Yeah. And I'm like, why? So, but anyway, yeah. So one of the names I saw was this guy's name was Cappuccino Jones. Okay.
Who?
Cappuccino Jones. And I was like, who the fuck is Cappuccino Jones? I just looked, I Google image searched Cappuccino Jones.
Right.
I've never seen this guy before. I've never seen any of his matches. I haven't seen him wrestle. I've only seen the pictures on Google image search. And I'm like, this guy's my favorite wrestler already.
Really?
Like, I'm telling you guys, this guy is going to be somebody. So
you make me want to look him up.
Mark Cappuccino Jones down. I was like, he sounds like a blaxploitation joke, right?
He does.
And then I go look
It's
at
true.
the images, and like, that's how he's promoting himself. Like, he has the old like 70s font, and he's like wearing the cool like
That's
like
awesome.
the leather jacket and hat, and like this guy, and he looks like he's tall, he's jacked,
let's
like
see.
he's a good. He looks like
Dude,
a fucking star. I would give
I
this
gotta
guy all the belts, and I haven't even seen him I haven't seen him take one step.
actually, can I show you? I got to show something.
Go ahead,
You-
put
you'll
him
probably
up.
like it. It only goes for a minute and a half. I got to pause it.
No,
This
don't
is
even
cool,
show.
though.
Don't even show a video. Just show a picture.
No. Trust me. Like,
No,
gotta
you
see
trust
this.
me. Picture.
All right, fine. Because it looks good.
They
dude.
want to
It's a
watch. If
vignette.
they want to watch a promo, go watch it yourself. Just show the picture.
All right, fine. Okay, let me just go back again for a minute. Because now I'm kind of excited. I'm not gonna lie. What's a good picture that I could show?
Any picture. Show several pictures.
Okay, have you seen the one where he's I'll just share the screen now. Where he's acting like he's drinking, I guess, cappuccino. Hang on, I'm going to share it
Why
now.
am I still waiting?
Hold on. Here we
Is this
go.
Australian internet lag or?
Can you see it? No, it's cool. Can you see it?
Yep.
That's
Wait,
Cappuccino
who are all
Jones.
these
But it
people?
looks
These weren't coming up on my image search. Who the fuck are these people?
I don't know who the fuck the others are, but look, these all came up in my search.
Oh, this guy's using Bing.
I know, because I'm
Who's
right
that
now I
Teddy
am,
Long?
but I shouldn't. I should go. Should I go to a Google search? It's showing me nothing really.
Oh,
I
you
don't
didn't
really
even
think
spell
about
it right for one. That's one of the problems. You know what?
Oh, how do you
Maybe
spell
this
it,
is a
dude?
mistake. Forget it.
Oh no,
Just,
here we go.
guys,
Here we go.
just
No,
trust me.
that's right. Here we go. But still, it's fucking showing me the same shit.
Forget it. It's over. You ruined it. It's
That looks
over.
funny though.
That is
Damn
not
it.
going to get anybody's.
Does he really
attention.
do that? He's always drinking freaking cappuccinos.
Yeah, it's like he's got a
That's
it's
why
a
I wanted
pose.
to show the vignette.
You have to do a pose, you know. You got to have a cool pose so when you stand up on the
that's why I
turnbuckles, you
wanted to
could
show
do a
the vignette.
pose.
True, but on the vignette, it shows him in like a diner somewhere, right? And he's drinking a cappuccino, obviously.
Oh yeah,
I haven't
thanks
seen
for
the
putting
rest
that
of it,
one up.
but I wanted to
All
show
right, well,
you
anyway.
guys, man, but you told me no. God damn it!
You only had
Jones.
to put the thumbnail. You don't even have to watch a video. Never mind.
No, all it shows
Never
him
mind.
is just kicking back.
Cappuccino Jones, everybody. Cappuccino Jones.
Is he bald now, by any chance?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, all
Maybe.
right.
Never
all
mind.
good. All good.
Cappuccino Jones.
I got to look more into it. But yeah, clearly friggin' my browser. Why is it Bing, man? I need to change it from Bing. Bing sucks.
Mike Martin's just naming black people he knows. Doesn't look like any of those people.
Dude.
Now who's racist?
God damn it. Elaborate goes, someone needs to plug and unplug Australia's internet.
Yeah, plug it and plug it back in. But then you guys will lose me. So,
but in all honesty, though, Australian internet is one of the shittest in the world. If you don't believe me, look it up. I have no idea why we're like that when we shouldn't be, but it's true, man. Freaking Australian government. Anyway, that's all the news. Check out Cappuccino Jones. I'm sure he's better than what I showed you guys. I'm going to do my little research when I do get to it eventually. But Vet, should we put the gloves on and sift through that wreckage?
Might as well.
Let's do it.
That's gonna that last like 5 minutes is gonna be like it's gonna be torture for the audio only. They'll probably be like furiously like Googling Cappuccino Jones while they're hearing it. Like, God, what does this guy look like anyway?
For everyone that is just on the audio, just do your research and you'll see for yourselves. Trust me, you didn't miss out on much.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's stay on black people because guess what? Tony Schiavone on Dynamite is going to bring out the Hurt Syndicate.
Oh, God, I hate the song, bro. Did you hear
Jimmy
that?
hates the song.
I hate the song because all I hear is, we hurt, we hurt, we hurt. And like over and over and over and over. I'm like, for fuck's sake, did Tony Khan write this freaking song? Like, seriously.
It's already corny when you have lyrics, you know?
Just hurt. Yeah, I know. Just take it out. I don't mind Lashley's actual theme, though, because it's kind of similar to WWE's.
Right.
Kind of.
Which is also kind of corny. Like, you're doing the WCW thing where they would, like, make a facsimile of an existing popular song.
But at least WCW kind of did good sort of jobs of those songs, though, generally. Because some of them, they were kind of good. Like DDP's. They were the kings of ripoffs. Jimmy Hart knew what he was doing when it comes to ripping off popular songs and whatnot. Like, I always used to love Raven's WCW theme, for example. Yeah. Which was pretty much his TNA theme.
So anyway, Tony Schiavone's in there, and when the Hurt Syndicate comes in, they're like, all right, get out of here. So he gets shooed out. And then they show a video about what happens when you turn down the offer of the business card. And, of course, that's them beating the shit out of Swerve from the previous week. And then Swerve comes out with his full entrance song, which I guess those lyrics are okay, too. You know, Swerve when I drive and all. But then he just comes out and says, Bobby Lashley, full gear.
And they're just like, sweet. No worries.
Right.
Like,
which basically, let me translate that for you from pro wrestler speak to just normal person speak. I'm really mad at you, Bobby Lashley, but I'm not so mad that I can't wait a couple of weeks to get in a wrestling match with you and not a fight. So I will wait.
This is my issue with AEW as a whole too, dude. They always either just fight or there's no promos leading up to their like blow off match. For example, we'll get to that, but AEW tend to do this shit a lot. But yeah, as far as Swerve goes, that was corny as hell, dude. Him just coming, Bobby Lashley. I just rolled my eyes straight away, dude. I was like, nah. Why? Why
the guy that like the guy that goes and visits your baby in the crib and goes to your wrestling school and leaves you in a puddle of blood? And isn't this that guy? And he's just now he's gonna be like, Because isn't Full Gear like in another week or two?
2 more weeks.
Like, yeah, so it's like I'm gonna try to stay mad this whole month, and then I'm gonna eat a Thanksgiving dinner, and then I'm gonna fight you, Bobby Lashley.
He better come to his house
like Randy Orton. That's
God.
why the pile driver crippled him, because he's so fat now and all that weight on his neck.
Actually, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, Randy Orton's got hit in the neck with his own stomach on that pile driver, and that hospitalized him.
You know, since you've called him fat, now the more I look at him, dude, I can't help but think, fucking hell, vet, why are you making me look at him like it was friggin' like he's fat? He kind of, look, when we say fat,
because for Randy Orton, that is fat.
Man, his stomach does sort of hang over his trunks now. Actually, when you think about it,
bro, when they stretchered him out, he was still wearing his t-shirt, and I could see his stomach like a hill.
And he's grunting all the way too, man. That was annoying me. He's like, all the way to the ambulance, and the ambulance took forever just to leave, dude. I don't know if you noticed. There was a point where it was just no one was saying anything. It was like it just went quiet, and then someone's like, all right, let's go, come on. You know what I mean? And then suddenly they take off, but it was just awkward, man.
All right. So anyway, so in the company where everybody gets into a ridiculous stadium-wide brawl at the drop of a hat, Swerve is patient enough that he's going to wait for a nice wrestling match with rules and everything at Full Gear. So that's what we're going to get, I guess.
With rules. But you know what worries me? Surely Swerve will actually lose that match, right? Surely they won't put freaking Swerve over Lashley. Or will they?
Don't
that's
say
the
surely.
problem. Yeah,
Don't say surely. In my mind, it's a 50-50 right now.
I know. That's what scares me, bro. That's the thing, man. You're right. And more than likely, fuck, I hate to say it, but more than likely I can see Swerve winning. And then that kills all the momentum, you know, if any, with Lashley, dude. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, as we go throughout the week, we will kind of see themes developing here, but we'll touch on those as we go. What else did you have to say about this opening segment? No,
I just thought, you know, Swerve is corny. You know, the Hurt Syndicate look like $1 million, man. I mean,
oh yeah,
who rocks suits better than them three, dude?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, no, come on. This has got to be ridiculous. It's okay. I'll give a little bit away now. It's a little bit ridiculous to have these guys standing here, and then we have to put up with the Death Riders.
Oh my
also
God.
Going on at the same time, right? All
Total
right, but anyway,
trash on one side.
Speaking of which, we got a little orange package next.
Oh, we do.
And then, speaking of the Death Riders, we get their entrance, and this is just going to be a match with Pac and Claudio versus Orange and Darby. Okay, this match was literally jump-started because Darby flew off the damn stage or whatever at them.
That was crazy.
Right? And then we get one of my favorite things in all of pro wrestling, Jimmy. It's when you have all this crazy chaos where everybody's fighting everywhere, and then it just settles down into a wrestling match where the rules are being observed and people are waiting on the apron for their legal tags and having both feet down and their hand over the rope and holding the rope and everything, even though we were just fighting all over the place before. But we've calmed down now. Cooler heads have prevailed. We're gonna just have some nice headlocks and everything now. We're not gonna hit anybody with any furniture or anything, at least for a little while, until it breaks down again. By the end of it, they're all over the place again, fighting everywhere again. I believe this ends in a disqualification of some kind. Like the referee just says, fuck it, you guys. So, okay. So why not just not have a match at all? Why not just never get the match started? Like you 100%. Just keep fighting and the referee just says, you know, yeah, there's not going to be a match.
It's a no contest.
We need to get security to get these guys out of here. And then you could do whatever you want. What's the point of getting in there for a few minutes and standing on the apron?
Well, like I always say, what's the point of thinking logic? You know what I mean? When it comes to this company,
what's the point? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, the point of me bringing it up is that somewhere out in the world, there's a record of how to do it right. If I'm the only person on earth that's going to tell you how to properly do a match, an angle, whatever, then even if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around and nobody hears me, I could say I tried. I could say I said it. I said it out loud. This is how you would do it. You could either start the match and it never starts, or you could just have everybody come out and start the match like normal and then just go to the same finish that you had where it breaks down and everybody stops following the rules. But you don't have a chaos sandwich where like in the middle, everybody's just chilled out. Like, is that how it gets? Like, have you ever been in a fight with somebody, like a street fight, and then you guys both sit and take a seat and talk over some things? Like, yeah, man, so my wife is just, she's really riding me, man, and not in the good way, dude. Oh, I know, brother. And then like after you talk and have like a cigarette break, you go back to punching each other in the face. I don't think that happens too much. Maybe in Australia. That sounds like an Australia thing.
Hey, come on. Zane says, and like I said to you, Vet, don't apply logic to illogical situations.
Well, fuck you both. Fuck you both. Because I'm just saying, why does it have to be an illogical situation? That's the problem. I didn't ask you to create an illogical situation for my entertainment. You did that on your own. That's awesome. It should have always been logical.
That's perfect. Well, like Frank Pricklebarrel's ass says, learning wrestling psychology these years from Vet has been like going to wrestling school for free. That's why he's the best in the world.
Thank you.
Best in the world.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so the conglomeration comes out and they run off the Death Riders. The Death Riders right away because the rest of the conglomeration came out a little late. Like they could have also, to my point, right when everything was a super big arena brawl at the start of the match, they could have came out then. They didn't have to wait until the settle down part and the commercial breaks and all this other stuff. They could have just came out and be like, oh shit's on. Let's just fuck them up right now. Why do you care? The Death Riders tried to kill Bryan Danielson. Why do you care? Just jump them. The whole locker room should jump them every time they show their faces. None of this makes sense. Funny
you bring up attempted murder. There was more attempted murder on this show, but we'll get to that when we do.
Yeah,
because
Zane is the ultimate troll, right? Like he always knows literally just the right troll thing to say. No, that's not. It's not pro wrestling. That's what they've trained you to think pro wrestling is, and that's the problem.
Exactly, Zane. You smart ass. Always a smart ass, dude. But anyway, yeah, this is again. This match went way too long. It actually lost me when they slowed shit down and were actually playing by the rules. No shit, I was like bored at this point, and then it got into a mess again and whatever. And next you know it, no one wins. But like you said, why was that match even a match in the first place? Why?
There were several ways. There were several ways they could have booked that segment, and they didn't do any of the right ones. And even if commentary did try to explain, did they explain why they had to hit their music before they went out?
Wow, that's a good point.
Hey man, this is an emergency. We got to get out there. Hit our music. Anyway,
do you think TK is standing there like telling everybody like in Gorilla somewhere? Wait, don't run out just yet. Don't run out just yet. Now,
don't run out. Yeah, don't run out and leave me alone. I fear for my life.
Fucking TK, unbelievable dude. Anyway, let's move on from this.
Renee is with Ricochet, right? Looking clean, right? And then the Hurt Syndicate comes by and they're like, "Hey, good luck tonight."
Give me a little massage, pat on the back.
Yeah, a little pat, So they're telling that story, and see, that's all you need, just a little bit. Hey, good luck tonight, and then move. Not, just beat him up or all this other stuff. Just a little something. It's fine.
It's called psychology. You know what I mean? There was actually psychology here. Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's why the conglomeration was actually coming out. They didn't really care to help the rest of their friends. They just had a match next because this is the fight without honor match. So right. It's the conglomeration versus the learning tree. And now we have just booked back-to-back chaos because this turned into the third giant brawl on the show. Now, 2 of the 3 brawls were the same people, but now we've got a whole different set of people that have no vested interest. The learning tree has no vested interest in anything that's going on with the Death Riders, but here they are, and now we're just brawling all over the place again in the fight without honor.
It's a wrestling promotion without honor at this point, dude. No shame. Like, literally, no shame. Like you said, they went from one mess into another mess, and there will be more mess later on. But how do they get the structure of the matches so wrong, as they do all the time? How do you go back to back like that?
I'm not sure.
Idiots.
I'm really not sure.
I
want to hope that there was something that happened that made a switch. I want to hope that. Let me hope. All right. The important thing about this, okay, forget all this other stuff. I wasn't paying attention. What I did pay attention to was that Tomohiro Ishii busted Chris Jericho's brain and pinned his ass. So that is on the a la carte menu for me.
Yeah.
And Ishii notch in the win column. I'm eating. I'm finally eating tonight.
And he ate well, actually. Like, very well. But why isn't Shane Taylor friggin' eating?
Well, we'll get to that. Did you have any thoughts on the fight without honor?
Same old shit, bro. I've seen this a million times. So really...
Yeah, like the previous segment?
Yeah. There's nothing really to say other than it was expected. It just, unfortunately, wasn't for the championship or anything like that.
If anybody in the chat had a favorite, like, furniture spot or something, go ahead and put it in there. We want to hear from you guys. What did you guys like? Go ahead and
share. For me, it was basically when Briscoe jumped off the ladder onto Jericho through the table. That's the best furniture spot for me. That was it.
Okay. Yeah, I already said my spot. So the Death Riders walk by a camera and then they talk to it. And then we get our next match. Adam Cole, baby, versus Malachi Black, baby. Here's my note on this match. It looks ridiculous. Well, first, anything Adam Cole does is ridiculous. But it especially looks ridiculous if you're going to stand there and actually hang in there with Malachi in a striking contest.
I have my notes too, and I was writing, and I actually forgot them over there, but I should grab them. But this match was again, I felt like Malachi wasn't actually giving it his all in this match. He was just going with the motions, knowing that he's going to lose, knowing that this little fat fucker, I know it sounds weird, a little fat fucker, right? He's like fat. Just taking out, he's taking out all of the House of Black. Why? Who the hell is this guy, dude? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's not RVD. It's Bay. Yeah. Like, come on, man. I'm supposed to believe. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Like, again, why do I care? I shouldn't even, think about it because all it does is piss me off. I've learned to not care when it comes to AEW because that's just them. That's their thing. I got to just, like it, basically. Otherwise, you go crazy.
Yeah. I mean, even just to dispense more, psychology and wrestling advice, you could have even done a thing where you actually tried to punch and kick Malachi and he just easily counters it because your shit looks so bad. And then you have to go to a different tactic, like trying to out-wrestle him, since you're clearly not going to out-kick him or out-punch him. So just, you try it, you get shut down, and then you go to something else. That's a story you could tell in the ring. It's just very simple. You don't just go 50-50 because everybody does.
And TK
that's why Adam Cole's not a good worker. He's a good move doer, but he's not a good worker, or he's certainly not a physical specimen. But if you're not a physical specimen, you work that into the way you work your matches.
Right, but he's got no sense of psychology at all, Vet. Doesn't understand the concept of psychology, in-ring psychology, that is, at all. And like Frank's Pickle Barrel's ass says, video game playing is He's all that he gets, pretty much, man.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna.
He's size 6'9", so too much. Wow, imagine that.
All right. Well, anyway, it's ridiculous for him to hang with Alistair or Malachi or whatever his name is.
But
also, beating him is also ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then he cuts a promo after, and he says, in the event of a three-way tie, or no, in the event of a tie, like if he and Roderick both win all of their matches, then that makes the match a three-way with MJF at Full Gear. And somehow Maxwell Jacob Friedman has a live video setup at his house because he cinematically is like pacing around and then makes a phone call. So yeah, we're getting a live, except we're getting a live 24 frames per second feed into MJF's house.
24 frames, full Hollywood shit right there. I mean, seriously, dude, it's the same scene that we've been seeing for the last 3 weeks. He's even wearing the same clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they don't even.
Well, that one time he was butt naked, but
was he? Oh yeah, I think
remember he got a massage.
You're right. That was it. But the last 2 weeks has been him in the same clothes, in the same sort of area of the house, wherever he is. And why the spooky stuff? Why is it so dark in his house? You know what I mean? Because he's a dark guy. I mean, come on, man. And he doesn't even say nothing. He doesn't really interact. Like, it's just... Devil. Yeah, the devil. That's it. That's exactly what it is. I hate this shit. Again, lazy all the way around. Just total lazy. No effort. They make no effort, dude. Again, how many times do we need to say this? They don't know how to fucking tell a story properly. They don't know anything. They just do it. And that's it, because all they care about is the marktards that do love them, right? And just accept everything for what it is. That's who they're fucking booking for. As long as they're happy, I guess they're happy too.
They're not happy. They just don't know it yet, and they're in denial about it.
Good.
Here's where I thought I was gonna be happy, because Renee is with Jay White. Okay, and by the way, the delay on the Switchblade action figure is over. It is on the way. It should be here by Wednesday. So by the next Wreckage, I should have a shiny Jay White. But
Jay White.
Jay White.
Hey, if you get it earlier, let me know, man. Like, send me a text or something. Send me a picture. I really want to see this.
All right.
But yeah.
So Hangman attacks Jay, and they start brawling. We haven't seen any of this all night. And then Juice Robinson joins, and they both start beating him up for a while. Then Paige runs away, and then Jay gets on the microphone and says a bunch of stuff. But
a bunch of stuff. You know what was weird? Him being a full-blown babyface in this promo, dude, was just making me feel weird. And Juice took way too long to save his backside, dude. I feel like Juice took his time way too much. But we've spoken about this, but really, are you cool with this Jay White right now?
A la carte, he's there, so I take it.
He's still very much Jay White. It's just him playing up, being a babyface is just totally weird for me, dude. But I still love him. He's still my guy, but I just don't like it. I don't like it,
Well, this only works. This only works if he leaves Hangman as like even more of a broken version of himself and laughs at him. It's not him. Jay White losing, this will be like the worst possible option. And I'm not saying that from a biased standpoint. I'm trying to be logical as far as like what they've set up and what they've given me to work with. And now if they hand me the pencil today, I'm like, well, Jay has to win because Hangman is unhinged, and him getting his way does nothing to advance either character.
It's true.
So
Kevin White's son, apparently, according to Cam Wolf, is no, please, let's not even go there.
It's pretty young, maybe grandson.
Grandson.
So Renee is with Statlander, and then oh my God, I couldn't even believe what I saw. Which I didn't see because nobody saw, because they did it off screen. But apparently there was a vehicular assault.
Bro. How do they do this shit without actually a car? You don't even see it. I swear, dude, I was like...
The camera should have zoomed out a little bit. I wanted to see what happened.
What the fuck? I swear to God, man, I was looking at it, I'm like, did they just really do that? Or did I miss it somehow? Right? But anyway, this was fucking bad, bro. Bad. Really bad.
Yeah, so anyway, you see Camille and Mercedes in their, after they apparently they backed up over Chris Statlander or something, and she's on the ground, and then she can't even sell getting hit by a fucking SUV because she just gets up and kicks both their asses.
Literally.
She pulls him out of the car like she was crossing the crosswalk, and they screeched to a halt in front of her and almost hit her, and then she like got pedestrian rage and beat them both up. She just like,
right.
but she fell down like she actually got hit, because that's their clever editing techniques, their camera tricks. And it's like, oh, you just ran over Statlander with your car, and she's like, nope, I'm just gonna kick both your asses. Fuck selling. This is AEW. I know, sell motherfucking thing.
Selling, dude. Whoever was the guys that recorded this scene should be fired. Absolutely fired. How they missed all that shit. And the way we're supposed to think that she got hit by the car, right? But instead, like you said, she no-sells it and almost looks offended, dude. Like,
yeah,
did they just hit me with a freaking car? You know what I mean? Like, and then gets up and fucking bashes the shit out of both of them. And made everyone look like a clown in this completely. Complete clowns, dude. All of them.
Yeah. So, yeah. So she kicks both their asses.
I just want to welcome. What's that? Will Rally Sport 1. He's from the UK, and he says greetings from the UK. Before that, thank you for joining us, by the way. But he also says Renee Paquette has maybe broken her foot. Have you seen that, guys, in news? Yes, she did break her foot. As a matter of fact, on Dynamite, you couldn't tell, but she was on crutches pretty much the whole time. They did well, I guess, with that. But I don't know, man. I saw a report about it. He also says, I hope Statlander beats Mercedes. I think it's been not best title run for Mercedes. Mariah, do you agree? I do agree, but the problem with that is the way they've booked both of these women, first of all, by being absolutely like they're beating everybody up, right?
Who had a good title run ever
in AEW, in the women's division, or as a whole?
Yeah, as a whole.
Honestly, the best run probably, and I don't even agree with what I'm about to say, it was probably Moxley. His first run, that is.
Better than Cargill?
Initially, I'd say no, but towards the end, when she lost the belt and moved on to WWE, everyone was kind of getting bored, man, with her being champion at this point. She overdone her run. Basically, she was in there as champion and left losing it, basically. So,
Yeah, it came to a horrible end. I think...
Bad. On Rampage,
look, man,
no less.
We could shoot holes in this booking all show long, and we have, and we will. We'll continue to. And that's that's just sort of the issue. It's like everybody can say, all the fans can say, and all the pundits and the wrestling personalities with podcasts can say how bad the booking is, but we'll actually explain it. So the patriarchy, they're in the ring. They welcome Kip Sabian to the patriarchy. He is now Christian's new son. And then they want to call Hook out to the ring.
Yeah.
Hook says, make it quick. And Christian says that he hit Taz with a pipe. Basically, I'm shortening this. He goes a long way around to say that he basically hit Taz with a pipe so that he could have a new son.
And save Hook basically from his own dad. And,
and he says, he says, I wish your father was dead. And then Hook can't take it anymore, and he rushes the ring. and he almost gets a hold of Christian, but not for long. And then security is all there, and he has to beat up security instead. So
he also made a reference to, you know, ECW, and ironically, that was the night they went head to head with NXT, ECW, whatever you want to call it. It was overhyped, overrated. I watched that NXT and I'm thinking, okay, it's not exactly ECW, but whatever, cool. So they made that reference. But do you think, and I got a bad feeling about this vet, do you think Hook might actually join Christian's frigging crew? I can see it, bro.
no.
You don't think so? You don't think they'll go there?
No.
You know, there's even people suggesting that maybe it was him that attacked his dad, you know what I mean? But obviously they confirmed it wasn't Hook. So, but who knows where they go with this shit. Right.
All right. So, yeah, Marvez and Don Callis. When do you ever see Alex Marvez? He's used sparingly and rightly so. Anyway, a mysterious stranger walks in and delivers an envelope and a ring and a voicemail from the devil. He says, "Hey Don, this is the devil." And he's basically, you know, suggesting that this is a nice bribe for you to take care of Adam Cole.
God, he needs to bribe people to take care of a freaking fat, skinny, nobody, fat ass fucking. He's got a fatter ass than freaking Frank's at this point. Honestly,
now all he's got to do to take care of Adam Cole is give him another long ramp to jump off of.
He's getting hideous. This whole feud between Cole and fucking MJF is just so ridiculous and so unnecessary, and just so dumb. Just like, remember when the Elite, the new Elite, attacked Tony Khan, right? Whatever happened to that story? Did we just forget that happened? It was just, we're gonna
that's boring. Happened? That's a boring story. We don't need to.
I know, but I'm just using that as an example. Like, I didn't care about it.
His neck got better. Me. It's done. You know.
But there was
he wore the neck brace to the draft. It's fine.
He looked like a fool too, mind you, doing that. But I'm just saying, this is what they tend to do all the time. They start something and then forget that it even happened. And now with this, I don't even want to call it a double turn because it really, I don't even know what the hell it is. It's just retarded too, bro. I can't handle it.
Well, can you handle Penelope versus Jamie Hayter? They are some lovely ladies.
That's true, but Jamie Hayter these days, I'm going to be a hater on Hayter, bro. Straight up.
That's true, but I mean, she has looked better, but she's still a lovely young lady.
Oh no, absolutely. She ain't ugly, but Jesus, I prefer the old version of her by a long shot. And
do you prefer the name Haterade for her finisher?
It's so, again, this is Tony Khan coming up with this shit. It had to be. You'd be like, Gatorade? Hater. Gatorade? Haterade. Even though people would say that, you know, all throughout the years. But whatever. He's cool.
All right. Well, whatever happens, this match doesn't last long, so thankfully. And fun bonus at the end, we see, well, not directly at the end, but we do get a short vignette. Mina is coming next week. So
yes,
Mina Shirakawa will be back. She'll save all this mess.
I agree with you, Gross. That's exactly what's going to happen, dude. 100%. There's not even an if or but about it. That's exactly what's going to happen.
All right. Well, this is what's going to happen next. Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita versus Ricochet and his mystery partner. We advertised a mystery partner, and it is none other than
Powerhouse.
Yeah. Powerhouse Hobbs is back.
Did he just come back from his long walk around Oakland? Is that what happened?
Yes. He's back.
I mean, what happened to his
He took such a long walk that his contract with the Callis family expired, and no one thought to mention it for all this time.
Because, you know, you don't want a big dude like in your little clan, right? I mean, let's be honest. I mean,
no.
How do you forget?
You don't want anybody to make Kyle Fletcher look like he's even more off the gas.
Oh, he actually does look way worse than he did not long ago, dude. You're right.
Well, again, he can't be anything like Will Ospreay, so he's got to get off the stuff.
Do you think that's what he's thinking though? Like literally, that's psychology.
I don't know, but it's a very funny coincidence.
It is. It's true. It's funny.
Good timing there.
Funny. And what do we do now with Hobbs? I mean, they clearly. This is what it comes across to me. Like TK was going through his toy box, right? And he's looking at all these figures. Like, what am I going to play with today, right? And he pulls out Hobbs, but he was all the way on the bottom. You know what I mean? He had to sort of dig in, and then found him. He's like, oh yeah, powerhouse. And out he comes, dude. I mean, why? Like, why do this to guys, man? I just don't get it, dude.
Well, well, okay, but what are you getting at? Like, why not bring back Hobbs for a match?
No. I'm happy that he's back, but is he going to be back? Is he going to be here to stay? Like, you know what I mean? Or is he going to go missing again on one of his walks with his little snitch book that he had not long ago? The Book of Hobbs?
Well, I thought I was sure he was injured. I don't know why.
Was he? Okay, if he was injured, that's one thing, but I'm not sure. How long could have he been injured for? When was the last time we saw him on television?
I don't even understand this line of questioning. How long could he have been injured for? As long as it takes. What's your point? If the man got hurt and he's back, you're complaining that Powerhouse Hobbs is back essentially.
I'm hoping he was hurt like pretty bad because I don't know anymore.
You're hoping he was hurt bad? Oh my God.
No,
you mean bastard.
What I mean? Come on. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, man, he was injured. All right, cool. I probably knew that, but I forgot about it. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, look, you made it clear at the top of the show that you're in full I'm done with AEW mode. So I understand how you could fall into a pattern easily. But yes, like the Hammer says, chaos match again, chaos sandwich match. Just a little more chaos, you know. We haven't had enough brawls and chaos in the show tonight, so we'll just have a little bit more until you're absolutely sick of it. And then do you think now, I'll be with you if you're upset about this, Jimmy. Now, do you think that the guy that's making the big return here, do you think it would be cool if he picked up a win for the team? Because he didn't. It was Ricochet with the spirit gun, which is what he's calling the hidden blade to the face that he does, but not quite.
I mean, what can I say to you, dude? This is typical bullshit again. What do you say to it? I mean, like, really, what do you say at this point? Is Ricochet going to be positioned?
What anime is Spirit Gun from? Does anybody know?
I have no idea.
I'm sure it's from some anime.
Are you even into anime generally?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I don't know what Spirit Gun is, or I forget. Anyway.
It sounds familiar though. You make me want to look it up. Let's see, Spirit Gun.
There's a Spirit Bomb that Goku does, but other than that, well, anyway, yeah, he beats Takeshita with that.
I'll tell you where it's from.
Huh?
It's from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh yeah, okay. I never watched.
If I pronounced that right, I probably didn't, but that's where it's from. The Spirit Gun.
I think Hakusho wrestled Bret Hart on In Your House.
That's Hakushi. I used to be a fan of his, man. He looked cool back in the day too, man.
So anyway, after they win, of course, the heel team is going to use the heat back, which is a deadly maneuver that you can only use after you've already lost a match. And then Mark Davis comes down and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to help." And then the whole Don Callis family comes down. Then Adam Cole comes down. Then Ospreay comes down. Then they hit a screwdriver's music, and a screwdriver comes out of the back, and everybody's just,
and he screwed everybody.
Yeah, this is so crazy, man. TK will he sign anybody. He signed a screwdriver. He'll sign anybody. But yeah, Fletcher escapes before they can actually kill him.
Oh, you telling me there was going to be another attempted murder and we didn't get it?
Yeah.
Damn. You know, so is Davis now back with Ospreay and the United Kingdom is going to be a thing again? Not United Kingdom. What's it called? What was the name again? Empire, that's it.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll be back, but this time with Mark Davis and blah blah blah, and
Maybe.
Ospreay as your leader again?
Maybe. Or is it going to be a swerve? Was Mark Davis with his partner Kyle Fletcher all along?
That's a great point. I didn't think of that, man. That's actually pretty good thinking. But again, maybe you're thinking too deep. This is AEW. I don't think they think that deep.
I could accidentally think deeper than
you're allowed to, but they don't. They can't. But yeah, I like that idea. That would be cool. Actually, that would be a great little swerve because I think a lot of people wouldn't have seen that coming, if that's the case. Because AEW haven't trained their viewers. When have they done a proper swerve in this company? That you will
all
like,
they do is
shit.
Swerves.
No, yeah.
All they fucking do is swerves.
I'm talking about legit double swerve.
Yes. They've done it so many times I can't even think of how many times.
No,
they have hot-shotted every idea that they could have had. They could have had booking ideas for like the next 15 years if this company stayed around, and instead they burned through them all in like 15 months. The first 15 months, they did everything they could ever do, and they're just repeating it over and over again now because they've hot-shotted everything. That's the dangers of hot-shotting. Use up all your ideas like there's no tomorrow, and then guess what? You're still around, and tomorrow comes, and now you got a new TV deal, so you're going to be around for a lot more tomorrows, and you already did every fucking thing.
And they do it multiple times on the same show too, a lot of the times, bro, which is bizarre in itself, man. Like, for example, with Davis coming out and then, Ospreay coming out, it's like the double climax. It's like, oh shit, no shit. Like, that's what they want. They love that sort of response, but it's just so stupid. Like you said, they overdo it. They can just relax a little bit, but they don't do it.
Yeah, again, so now you think about it, right? So, like, let's apply logic again, because we're not going to stop doing that. So that means Will Ospreay was just there the whole night and doing nothing, and nobody wanted to talk about it. No one wanted to say after however many weeks Will Ospreay is here and he's got something to say. There wasn't any spot for him on the show, so he was just sitting there, the whole night, just in the back. Or was he at his hotel room and he doesn't know how to drive, so he had to get Marvez to come and pick him up? And like,
maybe
this is why it's dumb to do shit like this.
But this is exactly my point again. They just don't know what to do, bro. Like, they don't know how to move forward with the story. Look at Ospreay, like you said. Let's keep him on the sidelines for now until we figure out how to bring him back. You know what I mean?
So this is why I don't really spend a lot of time trying to worry about it.
You can't.
Because
you can't.
There's no point. There's no point. I can point out things that they could do better in moment to moment. But if I'm trying to look at it, it's like, well, what are we going to do? Like, where are we going to go? There's no point. So
no, you're right.
I'll give you an example where there is a point. Okay. I'll make the analogy because you are on the Smack Attack, right? So that means you cover Friday Night SmackDown. So you would have seen, so like in the opening of SmackDown, you had Roman, Jay, Jimmy, and Sami Zayn in the ring for like a good long 15, 20 minutes, whatever it was, right? Now, as I'm watching it, I'm very compelled by what I want to listen to what they're going to say. Like, I'm interested in what those guys are going to say and what will happen as a result of what they say. I'm listening, even though I can kind of tell what they want to do. But now I'm like, okay, Sammy said this. What's Roman going to say? And Roman only has like the same corny ass, his face twitch and shit. Like, it's so corny. And that's what I mean. Like, I'm invested in that, and I'm captivated by that. But at the same time, I'm not just thinking of like, what is he going to say? I'm like, say this. In my mind, I'm like, say this, say this. This would be perfect if you said this. And when they don't say it,
right.
When they don't say it, I'm like, you fucked it up. You fucked it up. You had it and you fucked it up. You could have made it so much better if you just would have done this, not done this, blah, blah, blah. I'm nitpicking because it's close to being great. It's good, but it's close to being great. So then I start micro analyzing and nitpicking everything they do, like every word choice, every sentence. I'm looking at every facial expression. I'm like, Roman, stop twitching. You look like you look like you're being electrocuted. Just stop. Just relax. Act natural. Right, I'm looking at those things because it's so close to great. AEW is so far, like overall picture, they're so far from being great. There's no point. What'd you think of this? You didn't like it? Me neither. Move on. That's why we do what we do, because when it's hopeless, there's no point in trying to like get really deep with it.
But I feel bad for our listeners.
When it's good, you can get down into the nitty gritty and be like, oh, but this could be great. I could shine this up here, buff out a rough edge or whatever. It's just, that's the difference,
No, you're right. And the only reason why I do get into, like, we try to get logical and whatnot. Again, we do this for you guys that are, listening or watching right now. And, it's only fair to everybody else that we try to, like, understand what the hell's going on. But like you said, you try, it only makes you angry, and then you're like, oh, fuck it. It is what it is, you know what I mean? That's them, and that's how they do shit. But we try to get to the bottom of it, but every time we do come up with, shit on how to make it better, they just don't. They don't.
It's too late.
They don't bother.
It's armchair booking, right, from our standpoint, because we don't know what it is until we already watched it. If we were... If I were involved in this, I could try, but the reason that I'm not involved is because I know people aren't interested. They just don't care about ideas. So
it's true.
Then I don't care. If you don't care, I don't care. But speaking of don't care, it's Rampage, baby. And here's the thing that doesn't. I don't need to speculate on storylines, because it's just Hikaru Shida versus Viva Van. Guess who wins?
Shida, obviously.
Oh my goodness, I can't swerve. There's a swerve. There's a swerve, Jimmy. You asked about swerves. There's one. I never would have thought Hikaru Shida would beat Viva Van.
How did I guess that? Was it like a guess, I guess?
You've been a fan a long time. It's like a sixth sense you have here.
Yeah, pal.
Renee is with Harley Cameron, who basically recaps her entire year in the company in one breath. Then you get the Dark Order of Silver and Reynolds versus the Infantry of Sean Dean and Carly Bravo versus the Undisputed Kingdom of Hat and Gloves. And those guys beat Reynolds, because of course they do, because everybody does, and he doesn't win anything ever, so he's just there to get beat.
So you're saying Taven and Bennett?
You got it. You don't like Hat and Gloves? That's not good.
I love it. No, that's a good one. That's why I'm just thinking you're funny, man.
All right.
Hat and Gloves.
Hat and Gloves. You know who's who.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so anyway.
Gloves is friggin' Taven. Hat is friggin' Bennett.
Yeah. So they beat Alex Reynolds, and then Brian Cage walks out. I don't remember if he had music, but it doesn't matter, because he just walks out. And he's standing on the stage and he's like, hey, I'm jacked. What are you guys going to do about it? And they're like, I don't know, nothing. And then Archer's in the ring behind him and they don't see him, and he jumps both of them. And then Cage gets in the ring, and then Archer and Cage beat the shit out of the Hat and Gloves.
So you're saying they actually repeat this again on a Saturday, the next day?
Pretty much.
Look, you know me, I feel bad because I hardly ever watch Rampage, right? And funny enough, I was the one that used to cover this damn show, right? But very, because he's a consummate professional. He actually watches all of it. The Rampage is, like I keep saying it, so it's just too much for me. So that's why I'm just kicking back. I'm letting Vet do the talking for the Rampage part, because really I've got nothing to say about it other than what he tells me, and then I'll go off by that. But yeah, continue on, Vet.
Okay, well, you'll like this one, because here Lexi is with Roderick Strong, and then he's trying to do a promo about the Beast Mortals.
Yes, Mortals.
And then Jake the Snake comes in and he says, hey, back off the Beast. He's mine. He's part of LFI now, and we got other things to worry about, and he doesn't need you getting in his head and messing with him. So back off.
Like,
Well, Mortos wasn't there actually, but it was just
damn.
Jake and Roddy. So
God damn it. Yeah, well,
and
he's
then
conflicted.
yeah, and then they show Vendetta, which you remember who Vendetta is, right?
Vendetta. For some reason, I'm ringing the bell right now.
Well, it's Deonna Purrazzo and Taya Valkyrie, of course.
Oh, is that what they call themselves? Vendetta.
Vendetta.
Have they? Vendetta. It's funny. You're gonna make me laugh now when I hear that. Anyway, these women have gone to a whole new low, man. They don't even get to do anything on the main shows anymore. You know what I mean? It seems like they're stuck in Rampage.
Well, somebody's got to be on Rampage, and they were here at a cafe. They weren't. Hey, guess what, Jimmy? In fairness to them, they weren't. They weren't at Rampage either. They were at a nice, looked like a nice cafe in Little Italy somewhere, drinking a cappuccino. Not a cappuccino Jones, but a cappuccino.
But a cappuccino. Yeah, like I said, Vendetta.
Vendetta.
Right. You say it like an Italian. Oh, shit.
So the next match is Top Flight versus Meat and JD Drake, the cousins. And I guess Meat is acting like nothing's wrong. Like, I guess he's cool with being abandoned last week. Because if you remember, JD Drake just left him to get his ass kicked. And he's fine. He's family, whatever.
Exactly.
Well, anyway, Top Flight beats Meat with a DDT.
Surprise, surprise. Has Meat even won a match this year? Probably on Ring of Honor, right?
No, he doesn't win there either.
Anyway, screw them all.
Everybody beats Meat.
Everybody beats Meat, including himself.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done that in a long time.
Right. Well, anyway, after they beat Meat, they shake hands, which I wouldn't have done. I'm not gonna shake his hands. There's no way I'm shaking after the Meat gets beat. I'm not shaking hands. Okay, no way. Not. You're gonna have some sanitizer or something. And then Lio Rush makes his entrance, and that's because his match is next. Because we got a hot main event for Rampage. It is the rematch: Commander versus Lio Rush.
God, cool. We're gonna rinse and repeat again, are we?
This time, Lio Rush is the man of the hour as he hits the final hour and defeats Commander.
Yeah.
He got his win back, Jimmy. I know you were worried.
Got his win back. Are we going for the trifecta next week on Rampage?
Could be. We need it. We need to settle this.
This is what you call storytelling at its greatest. Just nothing. There's no reason. Just repeat the match. Yeah, I mean, Rampage seems pretty. I mean, how do you. Like I said, man, you're the ultimate professional. You're the best in the world, but no shit, man. When you're sitting there watching that crap, like, what are you thinking? Do you go blank a lot? Because I know I would be.
No, I like Lio Rush, so I didn't mind. But
I know I don't mind Lio Rush also.
And I actually don't mind Commander that much. It's fine. These guys are like, okay, these are the guys that should be facing each other,
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
I think. So.
Should they rebrand? I don't know if Rampage will be around in 2025. Everything is pointing like it's not. It won't be around.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think it will disappear by next year, actually, event, or?
It probably. They don't need it. They could just. If they are going to do something with that other show or whatever they call Shockwave or or whatever they want to do, if they're going to do something with that, they don't need another show. So I could see that going away somewhere, and it's like, okay, it had its time.
Well, to be fair, the
it's
Rampage
just another
logo,
hour of matches. It doesn't matter what you call it. True. It's not like a real show or anything. It's not like it has an identity
nothing.
Or
it's dark pretty much now.
Yeah, so just whatever you call it, it's just matches. So just an extra hour of matches on a Friday night. No one will miss it, and they'll probably just put it somewhere else and call it something else, and it's going to be the same thing, an hour of matches.
Actually, can I ask, man, in the US with AEW stuff particularly, do they show replays? Other than on demand. I'm not saying on demand. I'm just
I
talking about in
wouldn't
general.
know because I don't have cable or anything
Okay.
anymore.
Just wondering,
So,
man.
if you guys
anyone's
out
got-
there have cable, maybe you can
Right.
check on that and see if they ever do the replays.
I just want to know because back in the day they used to do it. If you remember.
Yeah, I remember I got to watch Nitro at 5 p.m. my time.
Yeah,
it's
right
West
after.
Coast.
Yeah, what time would Raw start for you? 5 p.m. generally as well, or 6. What time would
No,
7
Raw
actually?
for me, Raw came on at the normal time. It was on tape delay, like live to tape.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you too. When it's live on the East Coast, right? Because they still show it. So technically, if it's on 8 p.m. East Coast time, right? Is it on 8 p.m. West Coast time as well?
It is if you have cable. If you have satellite, I think you can watch it on the East Coast time.
Oh, really? Okay.
But for
That's
my
what I
cable,
was-
it would always wait till 8 o'clock to come on.
no
So
shit.
everybody else, by the time I started watching it, they already knew a bunch of stuff that had happened, right?
That sucks. So technically, you'll never get it live because of that reason. That's bullshit.
The only way you
No,
get it
that's
live
pretty
is if
fucked.
you go to the show on the West
No
Coast.
shit.
Like,
so
go to
all
the
those
building, yeah.
years, that's how it was.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's something I learned. That just blew my mind. That kind of
Cold Blooded
sucks,
says
man.
they never do replays. So
Interesting.
yeah, they did used to. I remember that when they replayed it on, or they replayed SmackDown on FS1. They do a replay on that, but well, anyway, let's go to Collision now. We're back to a program that Jimmy may have watched, and
did
we're
watch.
starting off with a match that makes him wish he didn't, because it's
Yep.
the House of Black versus
Woohoo.
the Iron Savages in a trios match. We're
Why,
also going to
but?
have a trios match to close the show, so trios sandwich.
It's always
on Collision.
collision trios every week, man, on TNT.
And the Iron Savages ain't missing no sandwiches either. Anyway, they lose real quick.
Really
And
good.
FTR comes out and they challenge the House of Black. And they're like, just a tag team match, playa. And then they're like, but which one is it going to be? Like, because there's 3 of them. He's like, so which 2
Right.
of you are going to fight us? And they're like, I'm not telling. And they leave.
Why should they?
why
I mean,
should
what would you tell them?
Okay, now we have the man of the hour again. He's the man of the 2 hours. Leo Rush is here. He's doing a promo for us. He's telling us he still has that syndicate card that he was given, and that's his golden ticket. So why say it now? And then could we see
the
like
fly?
later on we could have seen Leo interact with the guys and like go up to him and be like, yeah, I'm in, or something.
They don't do that shit in AEW. I told you, don't think logic. But, and they were there too. They were in the same building. They could have done it, but again, it's laziness because they don't know how to tell stories. I just think they truly don't. That's the only conclusion I come up with. But I like the fact that he said, "My man," like my man Lashley. You know, a little wink to their WWE days, which would be kind of cool.
Yes, a little wink to the most embarrassing time of Lashley's career.
Yeah, he used to. What was he doing his ass cheek thing, dude, during that time? Do you remember that?
Oh, well, he got booked better with Vince McMahon. So, I mean, just remember that this was better booking under Vince,
thinking,
right?
What were they thinking? Like, I don't get it, dude. Like, it's kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. And then after knowing what Vince McMahon loves as well, it's even more weird and suspicious. But I'm not going to go there. But I would like to see, just for a laugh, have Leo Rush join like the syndicate, but have him still as Lashley's corner man. Except Lashley should just treat him like shit completely.
No.
Keep him away from this. We don't want no flyers in the syndicate, basically.
No, I'm just saying you just don't treat him like shit. You just treat him like he should be treated.
Like equal?
The however many years old piece of gold that he is. I mean, it changes every time he has a birthday. He has to change the number. So I don't know what is he up to? 27? Is he the 27-year-old piece of gold? 28-year-old piece of gold?
Something like that.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
So we got the Top Flight versus Outrunners for, I guess, this now the winner of this becomes the number one contenders to the tag team championships.
Yeah, but why? Why did that happen suddenly?
Because where's Todd Brantley? Where is he?
True, because AEW, right? What am I even asking?
All right. So anyway, but the Outrunners do hit the Total Recall, and they do go to Full Gear for a title shot now against Private Party.
I'm happy for that, but will they win? Is it possible they win this quick? I would.
No.
I'd pull the trigger straight away, but they won't win though. You're right.
No, they will not win. Nor should they. They shouldn't even be here at this point. It's too early.
But they
hot-shot it again.
They don't know how to tell a journey, bro. You know this. Again, we keep saying it. It's like they just don't know. They don't know, dude. Like,
you remember they were like, 1 week they were comedy jobbers in Ring of Honor. The next week they were hitting the ring to make a save for FTR, and they're like dead serious and a threat. You know, it just went from 0 to 100 in one, you know.
I'll say why. You know what? I don't think TK really saw much in them initially, right? Other than jobber tag team, pretty much, right? But really, they're a good example of the fans getting him to this point, I think. And I think he couldn't deny it. The fans all loved them, dude. They are one of the higher merch sellers right now in AEW. And as a matter of fact, I mean, who gets their own little vignettes promoting their own friggin' shit? I haven't seen anyone else do that except for the Outrunners.
Yep. And they're doing the real VHS promos, the Wyatt 6 wish they were doing.
I agree with you, dude.
Their shit is so phony looking, like.
I 100. Yeah, it looks too digital, even though they're trying to do that analog look.
Right.
Go figure, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, but we'll take it. Outrunners, maybe they're hot-shotting it, but whatever, we'll take it. Who cares?
Nah, they're not gonna win. There's no chance they win. They'll save it for a big event, hopefully. But yeah.
The important thing is that they're getting a spot. You know, that's
absolutely.
Here's some guys that used to have a spot. The Acclaimed. Listen. They're cutting a promo on LFI, but here comes a visit from the Hurt Syndicate, and they're like, "Max, I know you still have the card," and he's like, "Psh."
What's with the attitude, man? Jesus.
Well, you know, he doesn't.
He's
the best wrestler alive, and he shouldn't be relegated to just standing there, not rapping.
Oh, sorry. But you know what, dude? I guess, is it the beginning of the end for the Acclaimed at this point? They are teasing it pretty bad at this point.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Labrat says, is this a rib on Caster for saying AEW doesn't want any more ex-WWE guys? I hope so. God, I hope so.
Oh, that'd be awesome. But are they that smart again to think that? But it does come across that way when you put it like that.
Yeah. Oh, here, you don't want any more ex-WWE guys. Well, here's 3 of them in your face, and every one of them will beat the fucking shit out of you.
Grass is also right, man. The Acclaim died months ago. It's true. I see where he's coming from, dude. They've lost all their momentum. All their babyface heat was totally gone. You know, one's
can't have it if you're not on TV.
Right. Well, that's true too. But right now we got, Caster being some egomaniac, like thinks he's better than everybody type of wrestler, and then you got Bowens being the same old Bowens. Humble, still a babyface. So one's a heel, one's a babyface. That's what they're doing essentially.
Roderick Strong is alone because obviously Cage and Archer beat up his friends the night before. So he's out here against, do you want to say it this time, Jimmy? Who's he against?
Mortos. The Beast. Unfortunately, I'm not using my roadcaster to do the proper deal, but right. I popped when Mortos came out. At first I thought it was Rush, but no, it was Mortos.
Well, he may be the Beast, but he's not better than a Roderick Strong jumping knee. So
I'm fine. It was a bad, stupid jumping knee. It didn't even look like that hard, dude. I hate that move, man. Again, production. They got to get it from an angle where it looks kind of cool. They always get it wrong, though.
Well, you know what? Just like you alluded to, Cage and Archer come out to finish the job on Roderick Strong.
Yeah, fuck me, man. Everybody dies. You just hear that bullshit and yeah. Cleaned house.
I like how these guys have left, or at least Archer has left Jake, but he's still dealing with Jake the Snake business somehow.
Right. Somehow.
Because these guys are in the Don Callis family, and they were paid to. I mean, they were paid to supposedly deal with Will Ospreay, but since Will Ospreay wasn't around, or I mean Adam Cole, excuse me. Why did I say Will Ospreay? Adam Cole. But Adam Cole ain't here, so we'll do Roderick Strong instead.
They're on loan back to Jake for now, maybe. Nah. But you're right, yeah. Again, I don't know, this has been the thing, for the whole show. But do they really know what they're going to do with these two guys? They don't. They're just doing it. You know what I mean? It's all smoke and mirrors, man. This whole company, the way they book things, is just all bullshit. Yeah. So you got to literally watch out, man. Something's going to poke you in the eye. I'm telling you.
And that man is now the WWE champion.
Yeah, who would have thought?
So, Mariah May hates women's wrestling, Jimmy.
Do you blame her? She
No.
should have AEW women's wrestling, actually, in fact.
She should get a load of NXT. They got a lot of women's wrestling down there.
I'm sure she should go there. But you know what's dumb about this promo, though? Who else is been dominating the women, really? If not more so. And that's Monet. When she says she got no fucking competition.
Right.
Well, you got one bitch that hasn't lost either. You know what I mean? Pretty much. Why not mention her? But I guess she doesn't exist in Mariah's universe.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's like you have these two women who are both heels. Then they have what? Because they're both heels, they can't take exception to what the other says.
Not in TK's
Mariah May
universe.
can't. Mariah May has to ignore the CEO. The CEO has to ignore the glamour. Like they just both exist and they're cool with it. Mercedes doesn't feel like a secondary champion when she feels like she should be, or like have both belts or whatever. Like that.
Well, to be honest,
the
the
don't
TBS
worry.
championship seems more legit than the world championship right now.
Yeah, well, don't worry, because guess who else is legit? Anna Jay, okay? She spent a couple weeks in Japan, so she is legit, and she almost beat Mariah May, so she deserves another chance to beat her, and if she doesn't beat her this time, she will never challenge for the title again.
While she's champion. She elaborated that.
While she's champion. Very specific,
right.
That lovely, wonderful stipulation.
In other words,
and speaking of Cody Rhodes, I believe he lost a stipulation like that once, didn't he not?
Except the difference with that, he said he will never go for the championship, no matter who's champion.
That was shoot Cody Rhodes, though. Didn't working Cody Rhodes lose the opportunity to ever challenge for it again?
He did. I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, against MJF, wasn't it?
Nah, I don't know. Who cares?
It was many years ago now.
Yeah, it's too long.
It was 2019, I think, when it first started.
Oh no, MJF costed him the match.
Yeah, that's it. I know
because that was when he was still like his towel boy, right?
Right, exactly, 100%. And then MJF turned on him, and then we got this present day MJF.
Hey, my memory is good for something. All right, chalk one up for Vet's old memory here.
Here we go. Josh has got it right here. Cody versus Jericho and MJF costed Cody that match. Yeah, I remember. There you go. My memory wasn't fucked up either. Yeah, the towel. That's it, Josh. Exactly. Now I remember even clearly.
That seemed like genius stuff back then.
It did. Hey, man, 2019
really.
AEW.
I was being sarcastic, Jimmy. Don't
No,
bite.
but really. It's true, though.
Don't bite it. Oh, he bit, guys.
No, but it's better than this shit. 2019 AEW was way better than this.
It was the same. But here's Jake the Snake. Oh wait, no, I skipped this part. We had a very, very quick Chris Statlander versus Ashley Vox. This was an instant win. Like I barely picked my phone up to start writing their names down before it was over. And then Mercedes attacked. The car didn't take her down, but one Mercedes shot took her down.
Like a snake.
Just like the CEO says, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. Don't use an SUV. Use your own fist.
I know SUVs don't do anything to aliens, bro.
Right.
You got to choke them out.
Punches.
Yeah.
And forearms and stuff.
Please, girl. Please.
Or did she hit her with the New Japan Strong title? I don't know. She could have hit her with a belt. I don't remember. My screen was small. It was picture in picture on my phone. I was squinting at it. I didn't see it.
She did a bank statement, choked her out.
That part I saw, yeah.
That was it. But at first I thought it was like a Japanese wrestler coming out because the way she was dressed in the pink hair and all that shit, I didn't realize it was Mane until, I saw her face, obviously. But cool. Again, nothing. Is this storytelling? That's what I want to know.
Yes.
It is? Okay, cool.
Here's the story. Once upon a time, I hit a lady and choked her. The end.
Oh, cool. So it's like with House of Black, in their case, it'd be like, I walked into a dark, dark room in a dark, dark house. And then just, it's nursery rhyme shit, bro.
A story's a story. No one said it had to be good. It just had to be a story. Here's another story that's ongoing. Now Jake and LFI are back there, and they are talking to Mortos. They're having to pep him back up because he's feeling down about his loss to Roderick Strong. So they're like, come on, Beast.
I felt bad for him, dude. I really did. He's like, "Rrr, rrr." It's like he was crying, bro, at first. Like, just,
yeah. Roosh had to get in his face and like toughen him up.
Oh, man. And then he was all pumped up. By the end of it, it's like, rah. When you press, when you're losing Street Fighter and you see at the end, the timer's going down, right? And you press you put a new credit in and you press the one player thing and, you're like rejuvenated. That's what it reminded me of, bro. Like someone put $1 in again or a quarter or whatever, and bang, Mortos was continuing his path. He was back after being beat up.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. That's basically what happened. That's all they need. That's why they're a team. That's why, that's why Jake he's got to be these guys' leader,
Dude, could you see? He was laughing at this shit. Jake the Snake was just laughing at the whole thing. He's probably thinking, this is the most stupidest fucking shit. But you know what? At least Rush is kind of entertaining anyway. And so is Mortos. I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, if you really want to talk about some stupid shit, here comes Lil Brooks Jensen with his open challenge for his TNT championship. And it's just like, you think when you have an open challenge, which is what they said, they're like, it's an open challenge. But you think there would be like some mystery and then an opponent comes out, but it's just Action Andretti. Like nobody was, it was almost like it was advertised to be this and we just didn't hear about it.
You want to know something? It kind of was because I knew he's an idiot because on Twitter, the day before, he says, should I change the TNT championship back to its normal self? He was saying this on Twitter. And I'm thinking, why is he saying that? Is this leading? Is he hinting to a match? And that's exactly what it was. So by him saying that shit, not only do you like totally fuck up the whole mystique of it, not that it is mystique, but I'm saying kayfabe-wise, right? But that just tells you what type of company this is. No one cares. No one tells anyone. They actually encourage, TK must encourage everyone to bite at every friggin' marktard on Twitter. You know what I mean? Because they do.
I don't think he even needs to.
I agree.
Anyway, running knee for the win for Lil Brooks. I mean, how many people win with a knee in this company?
It's look, dude. How many guys have got the same names in this company? There's actually a bunch of this like Adams, Pages, Tony's. There's all sorts. Believe me.
Cages.
So
the Cage brothers.
Cages, Pages. You're right. Damn, Cages. I mean, it's ridiculous. At least with WWE, there's only one pair, and that's Braun and Braun. And even then, it's still kind of different.
I mean, if your name's your name, that's one thing. But, I mean, if you're doing running knees and you weigh 145 pounds...
It's deadly, bro.
And everybody else is also doing it.
That's not the only... to anyone.
It's not the only 145-pounder that's going to do a running knee. But Daniel Garcia is going to come in. He weighs a little more. He's probably like in 170. He comes out.
And weight 170. You're right.
Yeah, he challenges Jack, and Jack's like, he accepts the challenge, but he says, "But you're not ready," which is kind of hilarious coming from him.
I know, who's he to say that of all people? I mean, come on now. But whatever, cool. Quote to Jack, and no more. Not nevermore, just no more.
Okay, well, what about this one? You want to talk about some storytelling. You want to talk about some production. You want to talk about some vignettes. We're talking about
impress me.
Cheerleader Julia Hart getting shot with an arrow through the heart by Dark Julia Hart.
What's happening here, dude? Again, why are we seeing her back to her old self, and then we see her back in the darkness while she's being a cheerleader on the football field that no one else is even there? What's going on here, bro?
Dark Julia.
So this OG Julia
this is metaphorical storytelling. Like, I had to kill my younger self to be my current self.
That's so fucking smart. I've never seen smarter shit ever, man, in the company.
Profound. I love it.
Profound indeed. So she coming back as the normal Julia in House of Black, I assume?
No, she's Dark Julia still.
Oh, yes, just Dark Julia. What happened to Dark freaking Sky Blue?
She got Dark beat up at that one pay-per-view, I think.
2 years ago?
She was on the... no.
I know.
Who was it? Somebody jumped her at like a pre-show on one of these. So like All Out or something? Because
Julia?
All Out was in Chicago, right? Don't they do All Out in Chicago? And that's her hometown. And she was like on the pre-show and someone like hit her in the knee or something.
Maybe. It feels so long ago at this point. I've forgotten. But yeah, I mean, she was injured, but I thought she was fine. I remember reading something recently that she was ready to come back. But I guess there's no room for her run. There's too many women. Is there like a renaissance when it comes to women's wrestling? Because like we were saying before, NXT is stacked with women, right? But now I don't remember a time that so many women want to become professional wrestlers, dude.
I mean, yeah, it's I guess they're very inspired to do it rather than, okay, I don't have to have a pudding match on television. I can just be a wrestler. This is nice.
I guess, no, for sure, man. I just find it interesting, man, that so many women, and this is worldwide, Vet. Actually, it's a thing worldwide. Women everywhere from all over the world want to be pro wrestlers now. Crazy.
That's cool. I mean, it's cool. You have people to be inspired by, like you have people that you could say like, oh, these women look cool. I want to do it. Like it didn't really have that. You weren't, I don't know how many people, Candice Michelle really.
Candice Michelle.
I don't know how many people that she is going to inspire. No offense to her. She's just doing what she did, but
she would have inspired a whole bunch of porn women.
Well, speaking of home video, the Outrunners, do their merchandise VHS style that we were talking about.
I love that shit. Too good, man. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So too good.
We get a little Outrunners ad here, analog, and then Lexi finds Daniel Garcia and Fat Daddy.
Fat Daddy.
Yeah, and they're talking about stuff. AR Fox versus Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne hits the Tiger Destroyer. It's like a Canadian Destroyer, but you do a double underhook first.
Oh,
that's his spin on it. Yeah.
So then, what's a Panama Sunrise? What's the difference?
That's just a Canadian Destroyer, but you call it a Panama Sunrise.
That's what I'm asking. Why? Why do they have to call it that?
It's a Panama Sunrise because he hops off the second buckle first and then does it.
Oh, you're right. That's true. That's true. You're right. That's
and
Adam Cole style.
This is a Tiger Destroyer because he hooks your arms.
Ooh, then it should be called the Triple H or the Pedigree friggin' driver.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that make more sense?
Sure. Well, you know what else makes sense, though? That they waited this long to get AR Fox back for that time that, as I alluded to earlier, that he and Swerve went in there and beat up Nick Wayne and left him in a pool of blood in his garage, wrestling ring or whatever it was. And now that, now that Nick Wayne is a heel and AR Fox is not really on television, he decides to get his retribution by stapling a picture of this family to his face, just like this was done to him.
Dude. This kind of offended me, though. I didn't like it, man, at all. Only because if it's true, like with what he said, just say. If it is, I somehow doubt it, but regardless, man, it's just bad taste, bad storytelling again. Do you really have to go that far to do that? To, like, tell a story? Or get your point across?
Well, the real question is this. Should we feel sympathetic about something that's simply retribution? Like, should I feel sorry for AR Fox? He's the one that broke into Nick Wayne's house and fucked him up. So now that Nick Wayne is getting him back, am I supposed to feel sorry for AR Fox because that was a while ago?
But didn't he apologize to him?
He did. I don't think Nick Wayne accepted it then.
Okay, fair enough. You're right.
Would you accept the apology? Oh, sorry, I committed criminal activity and everybody filmed it and you guys laughed at me.
I'll be pissed actually now. I'll be like, you motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to fucking, snitch on you pretty much.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't feel any sympathy for AR Fox. If this is your way of like saying we're not going to be bringing you back, AR Fox, and fuck you and good luck on the indies, then yeah, it's a good thing to do.
Oof. Maybe he'll get ID.
I better not see his ass again. Because I don't care if he gets his shit. If he gets back over on Nick Wayne, I don't care.
I don't either, and. You know what? How old? He's a lot older than we think. Isn't he like nearly 40?
I believe so.
Or if not, he might be even 40.
He's not the youngest man.
Definitely not the youngest man, indeed. But he still can go. I mean, there was a time in the match with him and Wayne, man, Nick Wayne saved his butt just. When he done a suicide dive from the inside to the outside? He sort of hit it. Luckily, Nick Wayne somehow friggin' half caught him, but he should have just left him for just being an idiot. Because he had to dive, man, almost like a friggin' goalkeeper, bro. Oh, thanks, Josh. He's 37 years old, apparently.
37 years
there
young.
You go. It is young, man. I wish I was 37 again, damn it. That was like 5 years ago for me.
Well,
Yeah, I know, it sucks.
Go, hey, do your best, AR Fox. Get your money.
Get your money.
And get stapled in the face, bitch.
That's so fucked up.
All right. So, in another highlight of the show, Lexi is with MXM. MXM Collection, that is. They have a real-time text conversation with Johnny TV, which is funny.
That was brilliant, dude. And they full on caught it and they ruined it too. You ruined it. I don't know, man. I'm a big fan of MXM. I love these guys, man. The way they fucking acted. They're idiots, but they're funny idiots at least.
At least. All right. Now it looks like there's been enough talk. Oh, wait. That was the wrong show. But it is time for the main event.
Yeah.
It's the Trios Championship match that we've all been waiting for. The Death Riders of Claudio, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta versus the conglomeration of Kyle O'Reilly, Tomohiro Ishii, and Mark Briscoe. And if you were just tuning in, somehow you have cable or satellite and you just click this on all of a sudden, you would think, wow, this is the most random 6-man tag match I've ever seen in the history of time. But here we are. It is random and it is here. And you know what, Jimmy? This may surprise you, but I actually love this match.
What?
To a point.
What am I hearing here? What's going on? What happened to you, Vid? Did they get to you?
No. No, they just... When the match started, these guys were having a match. But it wasn't like the ridiculousness that was on Dynamite, where everybody was fighting all over the place.
That's
Not
true,
at
that's
first.
true.
But yet it did have an unhinged feel to it, like these guys really didn't like each other. So they had some good, some good action. And when I say action, I don't just mean they're doing stuff, but I mean like it felt like with their body language, they had intent.
Right.
Like they wanted to be aggressive. And you saw like, you know, the baby faces would get over on the heel and like kind of double team a little bit. Then the heels would get back over and get a little bit of heat and stuff. And then it would start, you know, it'd start breaking down. But this was enjoyable, but then by the end of it, it was started to be like, okay. Then they did the thing where Mark was going to hit the froggy bow and Wheeler Yuta like scooted himself into position for it. And I was like, oh my fucking God, this is the shit. Oh. No, you ruined it. Little Wheeler. Dude. He was doing good in the match too. It was a good match. And then he did that shit. And I'm like, just pick him, just drag his ass over there. He shouldn't have to move at all. Just grab his legs and drag him over. You don't weigh nothing. Just drag him. Shit. And it all went downhill from there because Moxley and Marina come through the crowd.
Why?
And then and with music, by the way, hit our music, but here we come from the random crowd, right? Then as they come through, then Orange Cassidy's music hits because you got to have the music, right? So
of course you do. And It's not even, did you notice, when did they stop using Jane?
They've been going back and forth between Jane and Where's My Mind? Like,
yeah, see,
I don't know. Where's my mind when Orange is depressed? It's like that's
I have no idea. But I only noticed that 2 weeks ago when I'm like, hang on a minute, they're not playing Jane. It's Where's My Mind? And it just dawned on me, and I'm like, hang on.
Orange's entrance song depends on his emotions.
Okay, so if he's in an extremely giddy mood, he gets Jane instead?
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, when he's kind of in a down period, he uses Where's My Mind. But
okay, so I guess it's the attention to detail.
Yeah, man. I mean, look. Okay, say what you will about Orange Cassidy, but he puts a lot of thought into his gimmick, whether we like the gimmick or not. He definitely puts a lot of thought into it. So I'll give him that much.
Man. And we do give him his props too, man. He's one of the better ones, put it that way. They understand certain things.
We like Orange Cassidy. He's unique. But anyway, yeah. So this turns into a schmaz. And then Kyle O'Reilly has Yuta's ankle in an ankle lock, and Yuta's not tapping. And, you know, again, I always go back to my thing. Well, why don't you just break it if he's not going to tap? And his shit looked like it was broken because his ankle was damn near like he looked like he could kick his own ass. That's how twisted his ankle was in this ankle lock. And then Kyle just, you know, it ended up breaking down. He ends up on the outside. Marina hits him with a briefcase, throws him in, and then Yuta hits. Guess what, Jimmy? Guess what a Yuta hit?
What did he hit?
A running knee.
Oh, so what's that? The third one so far?
Yeah, it's like been 3 or 4 this week, and that's it.
So if we want to talk about the whole show, like all the shows, there was probably at least 6, 7, maybe, at least.
People's just knees flying everywhere. So he hits the Danielson knee, And then, he doesn't have much time to celebrate because Orange does the orange punch to Yuta, and then it breaks into another schmaz, and schmaz, and then finally people are kind of separated. The Death Riders are over in the crowd side of the barricade, and the conglomeration's over at the ringside area. Like, come on. And Jesus nobody comes Christ. On, and we go off the air.
Yeah. I didn't like Collision at all. Compared to Dynamite was pretty bad too, though, to be fair. And more had to do with just the whole flow of the show. Like you said before, a lot earlier in the show, we had two of the same matches back to back on Dynamite. Collision's usually the same type of formula. Like, it always ends with a 6-man match or more. They love the tag matches on there. Well, it's true. I mean, there was a point.
Could be 8, could be 10.
And we did see an 8-man match. That's what I'm saying. I think there was even a 10-man match with lumberjacks, no less, too. On top of that, you know what I mean. So it's like it's a joke, dude. Like, stop doing the same shit, TK. Far out, man. Change it up. Give me a singles match for once. And I'm talking about in the main event. I think the last time it feels like that I noticed, and I'm probably wrong, but maybe not, was Kenny against MJF. I know, or Ethan Page against MJF. Either way, I think MJF was involved. But yeah. But you know what, Vet? If you had to grade this whole week of AEW between A and F, I know we haven't done this in a while, but I want to know out of curiosity, what would you grade it if you did?
This week is like a D+ probably.
Yeah,
because they really pissed me off with just how careless a lot of their stuff was, and they didn't do enough to like counterbalance it. So
they don't care.
So D+.
I agree, D+ for me too, man. Just I've seen worse, don't get me wrong, but I just felt like it was just boring. Like, all the shows just seemed pretty flat and the same old shit, the same formula on both shows. One's multi-man show, the other one's a hardcore show, and they're talking shit about ECW. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Well, in ECW news, that ECW NXT episode that went head to head with Dynamite drew a whopping. They did outdraw Dynamite, in fairness.
But not with Dave Meltzer.
They barely crossed back over the 600,000 mark. And Ray was asking me on the Next Level Wrestling review if I thought, he said that apparently people are saying that they thought that the ECW episode would be the highest rated on CW yet, and it's pretty much one of the worst still.
Really?
Yeah, which that's kind of around what I expected. So
right, I wasn't expecting like any miracles with that. It would have been roughly the same shit. But again, should AEW be worried about the numbers? Because the thing is, at least NXT weren't in the usual time slot and they still won. You know what I mean? That's pretty bizarre when you think about it. And then you got Meltzer going around saying, before we do, wrap it up, I just wanted to say, then you got Meltzer saying, oh, yeah, NXT did win, but they didn't win in the fucking, in this demographic or that, blah, blah, blah. Plus, CW's in 9% more homes. Yeah, that's true, right? Because one's, obviously for free, anyone can get it. And, the other one, you've got to have cable, right? But you still lost to a developmental brand at the end of the day. Say what you will about NXT, it's a developmental brand. Your main friggin' company cannot beat a third tier brand.
I mean, they used to when they were doing it weekly.
Right. That was different times.
That's a different time, and also
right.
NXT was on cable then too, so it's like it was a little bit more fair. But
yeah, it's true.
The bottom line is, you asked if they should be concerned. I mean, of course AEW should always be concerned about all of their metrics and everything they do. They should always want to go up in everything if they can. Everybody does. Nobody says we want to tank, unless you're like a sports team trying to get a draft pick or something. But other than that, generally nobody wants to tank. So,
right.
Of course they should care. But that's the thing. It's people aren't watching it because whatever reasons of like, oh yeah, the presidential election, or oh yeah, the new gas station opened up down the street, or no, people ain't watching it because they ain't watching TV and it ain't WWE. And they ain't watching WWE either. WWE's ratings are going down. Everybody's ratings are going down. But if WWE looks hot and full and AEW looks cold and empty, and both their ratings are going down, that kind of tells me it's just less people that want to watch TV live and would rather watch it later.
I agree, but again, I feel like you're the only one that actually, sort of says that. We're the only ones that talk about it.
I'm the only one that's right about a lot of things.
No, but really, I'm not trying to like toot your horn either. I'm being dead serious. When you hear everybody else, doing their shows and whatnot, they all love talking about the ratings left and right. Everybody. It's like it's such a big deal still, man. But really, it truly isn't. Except unless you're the actual, companies that pay for this freaking content. Obviously, it matters then after that.
Yeah, it matters to the CW, matters to USA, it matters to TBS and TNT.
And TNT, right? And USA and freaking Netflix.
And it will matter to Netflix, but Netflix will never tell you how many people it is. So
why is that? Why are they like that?
Why should they?
I guess. Why not? I am intrigued to know.
It ain't none of these marks' business anyway, No,
you're right. I mean, why are we even talking about freaking TV and ratings? Think about that, right? I mean, it's pretty crazy when we talk about that in terms of wrestling.
Well, let's talk about where they can find us outside of here, Jimmy.
You go first, man. Tell them what you're doing.
Yeah. Mike Martin says, matters to the people in power that matter. And that's the ultimate. That's ultimately it, man. So all these fans and Meltzers and everybody else can be squabbling about what it means, but it don't mean nothing to them. It only matters to the people in power that matter. And we are the people in power because we are the people.
We are.
Jimmy, you had a puzzling comment there.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why. Why? Goodbye. This is the last time I'll be in the chat. I was online last night, decided to leave. Why? What's up, Aaron? What's going on, man? Not impressed with the others? They're not playing fair?
You can't leave us, Aaron.
Yeah, you're the king.
What about me?
Yeah, what about
Raven?
Yeah, that's what. That's exactly what was going through my mind. No, but really, man, don't be like that. Come on, man. You go through worse shit than to care about what people say in the chat. Come on now.
Why? You can't deprive us of. You heard what Jeff? Don't listen to Jeff.
Don't listen. He was joking.
Oh, who listens to Jeff?
Oh, man, I didn't know that. If that offended you, don't be.
Jeff. He's just some guy. I don't even know why he's on here.
To everybody. He didn't mean it like that, man.
What's up, Billy Ray Valentine?
Hey, what? He's in the house.
Prolonging the show now. Everybody's just jumping in now. People are trying to leave. People are joining in. We're over 2 hours. We're trying to end, but we can't end on this kind of business.
You better, man. What were you guys? God damn.
Listen, let me just put it to you like this for everybody.
Man.
Everybody should always be here to see more of me, the best in the world. You don't want to miss out on this, and I don't want to miss out on what you guys have to say. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. So always think of that. You would never hurt me, would you? Not the old vet. You wouldn't do that to me, right? So
you. What do you mean?
So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
No,
nobody go anywhere until it's time to go somewhere. And if you want to go somewhere and find out what we're doing outside of the Wreckage, HMG's The Wreckage, then you can find me at Opinion Haver on every social media platform available. Just Google me and it'll bring up the most prominent ones. And watch out for any fakes. There's some guy out there that wishes he was Opinion Haver, but he's not, because I took the name and he's probably salty about it. And he tries to change his name to almost be that. And sometimes I ended up tagged in his Twitter conversations, and I have to leave conversation because I'm like, what are you guys talking about? You don't mean me, you mean this guy. And he spelled the name wrong, and I actually spelled it, and this person actually spelled it right, and they tagged me instead, and I don't like it, and yada, yada, yada. But anyway, Opinion Haver on all social media platforms. You can catch me on HMG Business at Next Level Wrestling Review every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern with Big Ray, even though we were on a Thursday last week because of the move. And you can catch me every Monday night, tomorrow night as we record this, at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, for the Impact Attack with Brandon, where we talk about TNA. You can catch Wrestling with Rogers every Friday at their Concrete Time, which for this past week and this coming week is a concrete time of 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. How do I know that the concrete time is that time? Because I am the host of Wrestling with Rip Rogers for these 2 weeks, as I am helping out Von Lilas, who has got to do some gimmick work, and he asked me to help, and I was more than happy. So we had a blast this past Friday. Please check it out if you haven't gone to the Rip Rogers channel, the Wrestling with Rip Rogers live or live. Go ahead and go to that channel, subscribe, notification bell, like everything. And watch me and Rip yuck it up for a good 90 minutes. And we're going to do it again this coming Friday. So please be there.
Awesome.
Yeah. And check out Stevie Richards every Friday with new content on the Stevie Richards Show. This past week, he was talking about, doing the J-O-B. And
J-O-B, man.
not only how to do it correctly and his experiences, but also some people that, his experience with people had good attitudes about it, bad attitudes about it, indifferent attitudes about it, everything. So if you want to hear about that aspect of it, that's a good show to listen to. He's got way more than 30.7 thousand subscribers, so we got to update our photo. That's pretty much it for now. And check out Cappuccino Jones. Jimmy?
Oh, yes. Cappuccino Jones. And also, aren't you playing anything tonight or today?
Yeah, I'm playing something. Twitch.tv/Opinion Haver.
There you go.
Please join.
What game, by the way?
Who knows? You'll just have to tune in and find
who knows? Well, we'll see. That's a mystery. So go tune in on the Twitch at Opinion Haver. It's Opinion Haver everything, by the way, as you said before. But if you want to follow me, you can on the X right there at DJ Massive X, and also at the PWC Network. Like and subscribe, right? Exactly. Like and subscribe right here at the Hamid Media Group YouTube channel. And please, as I keep saying, keep sharing, keep liking, keep subscribing, and tell everybody to subscribe. We're getting so close to that 1K mark. We just need to get to there, and then we'll be very happy. So please keep sharing that around, as you guys have been doing. Also, for $5, go to channelattitude.com, where not only do you get the best, but the realest talk in all the pro wrestling, and also at HamidMediaGroup.podbean.com for our affiliate shows, including the Wednesday Locker Room with our very own BRV. Yeah, and the boys, of course. Strangled Steve, Bello as well. I mean, they've got a great show, so don't forget to tune into theirs. And I think that's a wrap. So in saying that, I am Jimmy T. That is my co-host, the vet Jamie Williams, and you've been listening and watching The Wreckage.
The Wreckage.
Right here on Hummy Media Group YouTube and channelattitude.com after the fact. Thank you to everybody that's joined us too, by the way. And until then, I'll see you guys on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern for I Like a Raw with myself and, of course, Big Ray Hernandez. But till then, peace out, and we'll see you soon. See yous.